5. We're not trying to rush to get everything in. But before we left off for lunch, you guys got a chance to explore the Texas Performance Standard project and pick a lesson that seemed to interest you, and you put it in the discussion forum. What we're going to look at right now is, because we saw a little bit of it in some of the examples using technology. We saw some of it in the project base where they were using the actual smartboard, and we talked a little bit about using EduBlogster, or even you're even engaging in it now because you're using Moodle for this class, for this workshop. So what I'd like to do is go ahead and click on using the technology to differentiate. So what it'll do is go ahead and take you to the next sort of topic that we're going to look at. And so by the end of this, you're going to be able to provide an example of how, of a lesson that can be modified using technology. You're actually going to do that because you're going to use Photo Story 3 as an adaptation for the lesson that you liked. And then you're going to explain the importance of using technology as a means of differentiating any kind of lessons. And so first, if we go to the technology and multiple intelligences, there's a whole lot of reading. And basically what it boils down to is it gives you all of the kind of statistics behind it. You know that visuals comprising much of today's technology help at least 30% of our students have a better understanding of all the disciplines. So at least 1/3 of us are visual learners, which means we can comprehend information more rapidly when it's represented through pictures, images, or graphic organizers, any kind of concept mapping. But then what we were talking about earlier was how do you hit the other 2/3? So that's where technology-based activities can come into play. And if we keep going down farther, there's kind of, all the different things that you can play. Like students that don't normally enjoy studying spelling words can kind of be lured in to tasks by using online crossword puzzles, by using online word search. SpellingCity.com, if you've never seen it, is a website that actually offers a bunch of different spelling activities. ABC Teach offers a bunch of different ones. And so these are just kind of the different ways the intrapersonal allows for students to self-pace. So using a Moodle in your classroom allows for students to go at their own pace. Some technology application teachers at the middle school level are actually put their entire curriculum in Moodle, and when they come in for class, it's total silence. And it's not that the students aren't paying attention, they're in whatever course curriculum that the teacher has assigned to them that day. So it's more of an online class where the teacher is really there just to facilitate if there are any issues, which is they're all moving at different paces, so by nature it's differentiating. Because they all turn it in a different subject area, or they turn it in a journal, or they turn it in a discussion forum. So it varies when it comes to the differentiation. And then, of course, would it be differentiating with technology if we didn't talk about what computers actually offer students? It offers them, especially for the kids who love to talk, it takes their discussion beyond the classroom. Putting it in a Moodle allows for other people to see it in a secure place. Whereas if you're just putting it up on a website somewhere, anybody can view it. If it's behind a Moodle, it needs a username or password. So that's a security feature that a lot of our teachers, a lot of our students, and a lot of our parents love. Because not even the parents can get it to see it unless they have the student's username and password, their child's. And also, for the kinesthetic learners, they find the computers are a little bit harder. They, because they're wanting to get up and move around and do different things. But what it helps with the kinesthetic learners, especially when they're doing any fine motor skills, because they're having to work on their hand-eye coordination for any kind of games or anything that they play online. Uploading, importing anything, creating anything. And then it just, I kind of gave you the research behind it. But what I would like for us to do is clicking on Technology Enhances Instruction. I would like for you to pick an intelligence. And for example, I'll pick musical intelligence because I always think it's interesting to see. And so when I click on that, it'll take me to a site that gives me kind of an overview of how technology enhances musical intelligence. And it'll talk about how they can compose music. Audacity is a free software that downloads on pretty much any computer, and it's free. And the students can actually create their own music and record their own voice if they, are so inclined. But it talks about how they're able to actually use the technology that we have, the band in a box that actually comes with the talent customized. Audacity, it talks about the research behind how technology can help with this particular intelligence. So if you would, pick an intelligence. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes. Pick one of the intelligences and see how the article describes that it helps. Technology enhances that intelligence in the classroom, or just in general. And I'll give you a couple minutes. Okay, so what are the intelligences that some of you picked? Anyone?
Visual.
Visual. Okay, so what is
And it
it?
talked about how technology is really going to be useful, especially those with handicaps and those that have different types of handicaps. And it talks about something they can use goggles, taking themselves to different places, and how what an advantage is going to be, especially for math, for any kind of science, architecture, things like that. It's really going to give them an insight. Also, the technology also dealt with those that could not speak. They could actually type their words